Inner line. Top left-hand side, our red Terran player. It is Maru. Yeah, I mean, if Firefly wins 2 matches against Maru, of course they're in an even better position again. Oh my god, it's a cannon rush! Forge drops down. When do you reckon the last time somebody cannon rushed Maru was? First pile on the low ground. Maru will wall off, no surprises there. This is out of reach and out of sight of Maru, so Maru doesn't know about this just yet. Maybe he could go for something like a... I mean, no gateway, so attacking up from the cyber core is obviously very delayed if he wanted to build some kind of proxy over here. He's going to send that probe up. There's the cannons. He's got a probe in the main base. How does Maru respond? Pylon's going to land there. Pylon 1, Pylon 2. So a couple pylons coming down here. Maru, the responsible reaction to this is finish the barracks, get a bunker. The bunker is a big part. The bunker in range of where the cannons would be, and that's exactly what he's doing for the moment. One pylon cancelled as he'll come back around. First cannon will build. Probe takes a lot of damage though. Second cannon. And the cannon on the low ground does protect that, actually. So that's a pretty big deal at the moment. Here we go. Third cannon dropping down. Well, we're going to see Maru pulling some more of these SCVs in. That probe is potentially in range of being damaged. The bunker will come up. It's going to be another cancel. Another cannon will build. I mean, these cannons are going to be finished. And he kills the supply depot of Maru as well. He's going to see a factory coming in behind the bunker. A couple of SCVs being targeted. 3 cannons currently fighting the bunker. We're going to see another couple of cannons building up there. No, the stream! No, 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 no! Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Stream lagged. As we're going to see the cannons continue to fight. I mean, 6 SCVs down at the moment. I'm going to be seeing the cannons still doing okay. I mean, there's a lot of SCVs to clean this up. But there's now multiple Marines in the bunker. Factory gets cancelled? He was about to finish it. The factory was about to complete. Maru's going to lift up his main. He's going to lose the bunker. Why did he cancel the factory? I don't actually know. Hey, Maru's in some trouble here. He's going to try and go elsewhere, but his barracks will go down. Now Firefly starts a gateway. Maru did not respond to this at all. As now we see a new barracks building on the little ground, Marines in the center, and Maru does not look impressed. Maru does not look impressed. Firefly. Please, Firefly. Please, I just want this to get crazy and stupid. Oh, he's going to wall off with cannons here as well, so counterattacks won't do anything. Can he? I mean, there's no attempt of cannon rushing this low ground, so Firefly's basically going into a reset of the game with a 9-worker lead. I don't actually think he needs both of these cannons. As Maru's going to go up, he's going to see the cannons. I think you can cancel one. Yeah, you don't need both of them. Okay. Here we go. Maru needs to perform something miraculous. This is the sort of scenario where Maru pulls out a ridiculous comeback and we get back into this. Refinery will drop down. His factory will build. So he cancelled the factory to build it on the low ground. I feel like he could have completed the factory and just floated to the low ground. It was so close to finishing. Well, Barracks is going to build a reactor. The gateway completes. Cybercore can be next. Don't like the gateway being part of this wall, part of this mineral line. He's blocking his own gas mining, but you know what? Whatever. You know. You know, grand finals of a $42,000 tournament. Your team's life is on the line, and this is what happens. I mean, why not? Okay. Here we go. We're going to be seeing the barracks about to finish a reactor, and well, Firefly adds on 2 more gates in a robo. I like it. It makes a lot of sense to try and end this game. You're on a huge economy advantage, so you should have a lot to be able to shut this down with, as we do see the factory finish up a tech lab. What's it going to be? Tank? Kind of has to be a tank, right? You could build a cyclone for mobility, perhaps. There's one adept, by the way. These Marines, some of them are low. There goes one Marine kill. He wanted to get that SCV, but he decides to just keep running. The adept is shading backwards. 3-gate robo attack. I mean, there's just going to be so many units. It is actually a cyclone, so you know what? I kind of like it for Firefly. Oh, StarCraft stream, please stay alive. Sorry guys, the stream is lagging a little bit. That's, don't think that's on me. So hopefully it skips us together. We've had no issues all weekend long, though. We've not seen any issues anywhere else. My own stream isn't lagging, so I think it is this one. Hopefully it will continue to be alright. It's not the Wardy internet for once. Adept shading forwards in towards this mineral line again, just keeping track of what's going on. The Ward Prism coming out. The units moving across from Firefly. The thing is, Firefly stayed on one base economy, so he's never built up extra workers. It's not over just yet. Here we go. Firefly. Coming across the map. He's going to go from the left-hand side. Siege tank now building. That's going to create a lot of opportunities. Oh, the storm on the high ground is for the moment going to deny some mining. Oh my god. High ground stalkers are doing a good job of this. And now this barracks is in some trouble. There's the siege tank coming up. Siege tank obviously will fire onto those stalkers. What's the plan against that? Nothing so far. Stalker on the high ground is still dealing damage. Now we're seeing shield batteries built to the left so you can heal up these units. A siege tank coming in. Does Maru, I mean, okay, he's got the medevac for the high ground vision. Stalker pulls back. The Adept's coming in. He's going to go for this because the tank is obviously more exposed than it was before. Firing, he could really do with those extra stalkers from the main, but he gets rid of the siege tank here. Firefly pulling back a little bit right now. SCV is going down. The siege tank halfway out, the new one. Maru's losing workers down to 12 SCVs here. The Stalkers can micro nicely in this War Prism. Remember, the shield batteries just to the left he can use to heal up some of these Stalkers as well. Maru's now down to 10 SCVs. Firefly continues to fight. This barracks is going to go down. He doesn't have a way to defend this. He's going to dive for the siege tank. He's going to take a lot of hits. He's getting the siege tank, though, and the siege tank is the big thing you want to shut down, and Firefly... Sorry, I got hyped up in the game. Palaterian for the Twitch Prime for 15 months as well. Thank you. And again, Shandave. Twitch Prime sub and the 1,000 bits. So generous. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Alright, so as we kick off into this, Firefly gets a big cheer from the crowd. Maru looks to try and take him down here in the second map they play. Let's see what happens. Barrack starts up in the main base of Maru, gets that started. Andyman with the gifted sub to Gold M Simba. Thank you so much for the gifted sub. As this time around, we are seeing a gateway opener from Firefly. So, gateway opening. As we do see the racks dropping down. I just can't believe Firefly looked so happy when he won, man. Oh, this is giving me genuine joy. Our stream is having some issues, guys. Again, I'm sorry. It's not on my end. It's, you know, my own stream is running fine. So it is just on the Chinese end. So apologies for that. Hopefully, again, it's just going to be something that resolves. We are clean feeding it up here today. The stream has had a couple of troubles. Hopefully we'll not continue too much. Let's see what happens. Nexus dropping down from Firefly. You know what? He's got the map win. Why not try play a standard game against Maru? You know? He's already done the impossible. Maru is being safe here. Reaper coming up. SCV will scout and just sees a much more regular setup this time around. We'll be a little bit happier going into a more standard game here. As we do see the probes. Mining on that natural. Everything is looking good so far. Everything is looking pretty good. As we do see the Reaper heading down. Bottom right side, Maru is going to have another SCV coming out. So an SCV on the way up. We're going to see that Twilight Council is continuing to come into play. Reaper all the way up to the top side of the map here. So Reaper's going to be coming through in the Twilight Council again, not far from completion. Bunker at the front from Maru, playing very safe. Firefly's Twilight going to go charge, so that's where he's going to make this a little bit weirder, a little bit crazier. Pylon on the bottom side of the map, maybe that's where he's going to hide his gateways and go for a mass charge all in. What else could he do here? With the pylon on the bottom left side, I'm not sure, really. Proxy Robo? I feel like it's just for hiding gateways. Dark Shrine, maybe? No, he's going to build the Robo down there. So it's kind of early in the game to have the Robo off of like a Twilight Blink opener. Oh, this Reaper is scouting though. He's scouting every single corner. Maru is going to find the Robo. Okay. Firefly will just cancel that. He still has charge. He'll just build the Robo in his main now. Doesn't want to, doesn't want to risk the Robo being picked off and, denied, so he's going to add those extra gateways. Maru should be able to scout. I mean, he's got a good chance of scouting this, right? So Firefly building up those extra gates. Robo on the way out. Medevac is going to come in to pick up those 2 Widow Mines, and we'll start to take them across down to the bottom side of the map. So I'm going to go to the bottom. The Stalkers able to deal with that Reaper there. So the Reaper not able to do too much just yet. Extra gateways. I mean, that's 7 gates in total. Now Firefly is still mining a little bit of gas, so we'll see what he does with some of that. See these Stalkers get in position. He's still just adding a couple Stalkers in, basically. I guess he'll take those Stalkers across the map in the Warp Prism in a few moments' time. Maru building a Raven. He's building the Siege Tank. Stalker's going to hold back. There's the boost committed, and there's the defense against this attack. Maru sees a bunch of those gateways on the top side of this base, though, so he has a rough idea of what might be going on here. Didn't see the gateways elsewhere, if I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe he did. And he's going to start a bunker up there as well. We do see an extra couple of Zealots warping in again. This army coming across the map. So here we go from Firefly. Big gateway all in to try and win this out. But Maru is building a second bunker. He's getting a bunker in his main base as well. As we are going to be seeing the Widow Mine will burrow up there. Starboard going to move off the tack lab and go to the right hand side. Barracks is going to land down on it as well. Just going to be seeing these extra Zealots come up to the top. This one attacks on the engineering bay. Here he goes. Zealots will charge in first. Widow Mine shot he splits away from, but the choke point, the double bunker, auto turret as well. It's too much. He's going to try go to the main base, but the main is so hard to hit. There's a Widow Mine in a bunker here as well. Maru's defense is looking just a little bit too good, and this is not working out for Firefly. Not this time around. Really well played by Maru. Great defensive setup. He saw what was coming with the Medevac drop. And so he was able to add the second bunker, add the depots in front, and it really messes with the Zealots around. It looks as though the Stalkers here will be able to pick off a supply depot, and, well, the supply depot also going to take a couple of hits. But it looks as though, I mean, obviously Firefly is not going to last forever with this kind of aggression. He tries to drop down a third Nexus, trying to warp Prism into the main base. He's going to recall the Prism, try and get it out. The Zealots will die. Stimpack and +1 on the way from Maru, and as he gets those upgrades up and running, he's going to push across this map, and he's going to end this real easily. Lags, please stop. Guys, this is our clean feed just dying here. Sorry for the issues. Again, this is not on my end. This is not on my end. I don't have any control over that. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, it's coming. Like, if it was on my end, my own stream would be stopping as well, but it's not, so yeah, just a couple of issues. Apologies for that. Army here from Maru coming down the bottom right hand side. And Maru's pushing with +1 stim. There is approximately 1% chance that Firefly holds this, and it would really involve Maru falling asleep at the keyboard. Pylon cancels the Zealot warp in. Probably less than a 1% chance of holding this, right? I mean, this game is so over that you could drop the Storms on the Marines. I didn't even know there was Storm. Oh my god. Well, okay, there's your 1% chance. Okay, that was terrible casting by me because I had no idea he had Storms. The Storms actually saved this game. Well, that's just terrible casting by me. Sorry, guys. Distracted by the stream pausing. Firefly defends the 1%. Sorry, guys. Bad casting. As you do see, the tanks getting set to go. And Firefly will fight on. Yeah, I had no idea about the storm. Alright, well. Maru falls back a little bit. Now Firefly is on 3 bases. Against 3 bases of Maru coming up, Ghost Academy will drop down. The correct choice against a Templar Archives Storm-based composition. He's going to stim in. He's going to go after a couple of probes. Archon's going to go and push that medevac away down the bottom side. Medevac boosts away. Ghost Academy finishes. Enhanced Shockwaves should be a priority. Maru, look at this. He just bunkers up the high ground. He's like, you know what? I can just sort of sit here, like, if he doesn't kill me on 3 bases with whatever he's doing, I'll just, you know, I'll just kill him later. But now Firefly makes a 4th base. Okay, Maru actually cancels those bunkers. I think he realizes there's not a real attack coming. So Firefly gets a 4th base going, but he's no upgrades at all, by the way. No forges, no +1s. And here we go, this army coming out the front. Couple Marines getting lifted back up. From probes going down, Maru's harassment will continue. Just going to be seeing this Raven, this Bioforce coming around the side. Going to see the Bio again hanging out as well, and that's going to be pushed in from the right. We do see the Ghost. I mean, 1-1 upgrades alone in this fight gives us a big advantage to Maru as we come in here. First High Templar gets EMP'd. Storm just go down the next time around, though. There's 1 Storm left in the back. The anti-armor missile doesn't do a lot from the Raven. 1 more Storm, as you can see, Firefly is pulling back a little bit. Fire is pushed back here now. The extra Zealot will buy some time. Those tanks on the high ground, though, are doing so much. The Immortals will finally tag onto that and jump onto those siege tanks, but pulling them away actually gives the Archon no support on the right, so it gets picked off by the Bioforce as well. Blink +1 armor on the way up here. Marines jump down to the low ground, and this is going to be seeing a EMP landing. Another Storm. These Storms are actually kind of hitting quite nicely, to be fair. Firefly is doing his best to hold Maru off. Another EMP lands, and Maru's going to try brute force his way through. Good save on the Warp Prism. Really good save on the Immortals. Unfortunately, can't keep that up forever, but the extra Zealots do warp in, and Firefly will come in again. Remember, he's fighting all of these fights with no upgrades against 1-1. And Maru is having difficulty putting that final nail in the coffin on Firefly in this series. Army hangs out to the right, and Firefly is still just moving around a little bit. Here comes Maru again. A couple more Widow Mines setting up. Nexus in some trouble. Feedback on one of the High Templar. No Storms left over, though, and that's obviously an issue. Nice save on the Archon from the... Nice save on the Archon. I think that was actually targeting the Archon. He lifted into the Prism, the Widow Mine. Unfortunately, it might still not be enough overall. I mean, Maru has reinforcements coming, which is why it feels like this should be kind of struggling. Maru now going to build Enhanced Shockwaves. Kind of expected that to come up earlier in the game. Extra High Templar warping in here. 3 Archons on the way up. And Maru is knocking down these rocks. He's sick of using that position with his tanks. I mean, they died. So now he's just going to push more directly into the Protoss player, and that's going to make his reinforcements arrive faster. That might make the difference he needs just to kind of actually kill this off here. There's an EMP dead center on a bunch of important units. Sentry Immortal. Some of the Stalkers. Widow Mine on Archons in the front line, and well, you can see the Immortal count going down now. No Warp Prism Micro available, and this time Maru does break through. Firefly will GG. Let's see what happens. In the bottom left-hand side, our blue Terran player. This is fantasy. Up against the red Zerg. In the bottom right side, top right side, it's Rogue. This is a best of 2. Again, If you win the first map, you guarantee your team into an ace. If you go 2-0, you win the tournament. Spawn pool first from Rogues, already looking a little bit different, a little bit aggressive perhaps. As you do see the gas, the rack starting up. Getting that ready to go. Going to see this drone coming down to drop the hatchery into the natural. As you see the spawning pool about to finish up here. Hatchery starting in the natural, getting that ready to go. Reap on the way out of the barracks. The SCV again ready to drop the command center down. So CC dropping. Meanwhile, the hatchery on the other side of the map. And away we go. With a few Zerglings early from Rogue to be aggressive. That spawning pool first. Fantasy did not SCV scout, so either he keeps his Reaper at home or he's in some real trouble. Some real trouble. Reaper. Heading up the right-hand side. See what he can get done here. Do you see those lingers coming around the top? Rogue making a play down the left in towards the natural in a couple moments' time. And yeah, this is bad for Fantasy because he realizes now this pool first. He has nothing at home to defend, so Reaper actually turns around. That's 6 lings that have a lot of damage time. There is a Marine back at home. A couple of extra SCVs will pull, which is the right decision. Try and minimize downtime, but needs to try and not let those SCVs actually die. Good block of the SCV is going into the front here. The Marine sticking behind the mineral line. 2 workers dead. Reaper's about to show back up. And as this Reaper shows back up, a couple of these Zerglings will go down. So Zerglings continue to go down here. Good cleanup by Fantasy. Slight delay. I mean, that's kind of what Rogue is looking for when he opens pool first instead of hatch gas pool. And he gets it. So far, so good. 1 AM in China. And players looking to win the China Team Championship. Still playing their hearts out here. It's going to be seen that Zergling Speed will be finishing up in a few moments' time. Fantasy plays into a very fast 3rd CC, which as Rogue goes into fast Rotron. Interesting. You might get Rogue then aggressive against Fantasy's economy here. No lair though, so not a Nidus-based play. Maybe just like some kind of a Roachling attack, unless he really just wants to play Roaches into the mid-game. Fantasy and Rogue. Signing up. Fusion Core going to build from Fantasy, so he's going to go triple CC into the Battle Cruiser. So Fantasy is accepting this macro game with open arms. Says, bring it on, Rogue, buddy. We can dance toe to toe if you'd like to. See all this Rotrons for Rogue. Not too much gas, so it doesn't look as though it's going to be that aggressive overall. Too aggressive at all, actually, as we do see that Barracks about to finish up the tech lab. Mule drops down on the natural. Couple of mules dropping down on the natural. Hellions picking up Zerglings. Factory drops onto the reactor there. So reactor getting going. A couple of creep tumors spreading out as well. Vikings still going after this Overlord, which will drop. So Overlord gets taken down, and I was going to see those couple supply depots setting up also, so getting those rolling, and Rogue is going, Roach Ravager. Man, I really didn't think this was going to be that aggressive, but he had more gas saved up than I thought it was. So here you go, Rogue's going to push forwards. But Rogue's playing against a Battle Cruiser setup. Battle Cruiser's obviously not here yet, so Fantasy is in some trouble in terms of buying time until that BC is ready to go. Let's see what these Hellions can do. These Hellions are kind of running in there, the Lings. In some trouble. SCV's kind of pulled forwards. Fantasy's BC is over halfway done now. He's going to lose a lot of SCVs and trying to hold off until that Battle Cruiser is out. Even when the Battle Cruiser is out, right? I mean, it's only going to clean up Ravagers so quickly. of damage potential here from Rogue. He's going to corrosive bar down the front. This Roach Ravager Ling timing working wonders so far. He's into the main base. I mean, the Lings are chasing the SCVs off to the third as well, and Fantasy is down to 29 workers. The Starport is going to go down in a second. The BC just pops out. So, I mean, the BC will be able to pick away at Ravagers here, but, I mean, look at how many SCVs are going to go down. Fantasy on 17 workers left in this Ling Roach Ravager from Rogue. It's looking as though it's probably going to get the job done. I mean, I kind of wasn't expecting this from Rogue, but then he really did just find a way to put out a few more units. What have the Flying Turtles done for me? Probably nothing. They've created some interesting stream conversations. Fantasy. Bottom right from Pixel 1, our Blue Terran. Red Zerg, top left. Jeanette Green Rings, Rogue. Rogue's later game, ZVT, has been so good this weekend. He has been absolutely phenomenal in that scenario. Drones. Hatchery. Racks. It's been a long day, guys, and I hope you've all enjoyed the games. We really have had fantastic matches. I don't think there's any other way to say it. Grand Finals. What a season it has been. It's been a pleasure to cover the Shine Team Championship. I do want to say thank you to the organizers for allowing me to be the English cast, and I do hope to return next year with even more English coverage of Season 3. Until then, I'm sure SC Boy will be having some other tournaments going on that will be jumping in onto cover as well. Mouse's Coliseum will probably make a return, I imagine, in December. Why not Parting? Fantasy only has a 10% chance to beat Rogue. They didn't know it was going to be Rogue coming out, so it was a bit random in that regard. I mean, it's a bit of a gamble, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think Fantasy's chance to beat that Rogue is that low. I mean, Fantasy 3 won Rogue not long ago, a couple of weeks ago. Looked good while doing it, but I mean, again, like, Rogue's just on fire. There is some logic to it. As you do see. This game is setting up. Factory dropping down here. Going to be seeing the second refinery added in from Fantasy as well. So everyone's running in, chasing that Reaper down. Just a little bit of a dance here to begin with. This time Fantasy on double gas and will go into a starport early in the game. Starport coming up, so Starport getting going in that main base now. Reaper back up into the main as well, having a look to see what else is going on. He's taking a bit more damage. Link speed coming up here. Hellions continuing to come out. A couple of them are going to spawn, and well, Barrack's building up that tech lab. Let's Reaper up the top side from Fantasy, scouting around behind this main base, and just keeping track of things. It's going to be Numitez Carapace this time from Rogue, so he's going to be investing into scouting what's going on as Fantasy opens Cloak Banshees. Now, Fantasy off the Battlecruiser last time was trying to go mech, which is not really seen nowadays. It's mostly only if you do go Battlecruisers you go mech. So that's kind of interesting as well. Trying to play mech rather than the bio, which he will now fall back to. He's going to try and run by here. Lings don't have Ling speed until just now. Rogue will lose a few drones to this time around, so there's 5. Can he minimize the damage taken? Good splits on the drones. Last minute splits as well, so Fantasy can't even try to, you know, figure out where the best connection is. 6 drones dead for the 4 Hellions. Not bad, though. And here's some early damage here from Fantasy. 6 workers. He's got 7 workers, 2 Lings for 4 Hellions and a Reaper. It's pretty okay overall. As those Hellions just from Rogue will counterattack, see what's going on this time. We do see Siege Tank and Banshee production continue. Marines pushing that Overlord back, but they've already seen a little bit of what's going on. The Lings running by and actually going to cancel the third base. Oh my god, because he started building a siege tank, he doesn't have a way to shut down these Zerglings easily. Well, only loses 2 SCVs, impressively enough. That could have gone so much worse. So many SCVs left on low health there. Drone's going down elsewhere as the Banshee chases. Rogue doesn't have detection ready. So all of a sudden these drones are taking some damage. There's one Spore Crawl on the natural about to finish. So Rogue loses 6 workers here. So Fantasy's dealing good damage. Spore in the main base finishes up 2. Fantasy will turn back around towards the third base. So again, just looking for some shots. Misses the target fire there, and lets both those drones get low, but doesn't kill either of them off. Banshee now has to back away. New Banshee will replace him with better health, of course, and stay in this fight that little bit longer. So Banshee up to the top side and is going to go towards these drones here already, trying to get one of them. Not quite successful yet. Queen taking a couple of shots as well. Banshee dealing some more damage. Banshee will use for high ground vision, but the Overlord has pneumatized Carapace, so it will get away from those Marines. Kill will not happen. So Fantasy, with the extra Banshees being produced, he's going to go into mech again. Extra Banshees on the way, still building Helensy, but he did build like a little bit of a Marine tank force. There's that Hyperflight Rotors, so again, we'll keep building Banshees in this. Keep that up. Going to the upper left-hand side. Nidus Network, meanwhile, drops down. Roaches are Ravager in production. You'll see that Roach speed coming up as well. One's going to run by towards the natural. A couple of depots in trouble there. There's no... Okay, a couple of Hellions showing up. SCVs will be pulled in as Rogue. Getting ready with the Roach Ravager to come forward. So the tanks have to make sure they're split nicely. Banshees here to help out with the damage output. The Lings do get turned away from the front of the natural. You can see those Banshees going forwards. Overseer was not in position. Those tanks do split a little bit. Fantasy applying some pressure against this Roach Ravager army. The Banshees need to put out some of the damage to the Roaches here. They're staying away from the Queens, which is a good job. But now there's a Nidus coming in across the map. Fantasy is still doing okay here, all said and done. Just has to be careful because those Queens are still going to do a lot against the Banshees if the Banshees stay in range. And the Banshees do fly forwards again now. Those Banshees are all so low. I think he killed the Overseer though, so there's currently no detection. The Nidus Network on the other side. Roaches, number 1 is going to come out. Another Nidus starts to build. Fantasy looks like he gets cleaned up here. Banshee comes in on the other side, and he will be able to deny these Nidus Networks. Fantasy equal on workers, but down 40 army supply. He doesn't have extra production yet, which is his issue. All he can build right now is Banshees. And that is kind of his problem. His economy is good, but his army non-existent, his production delayed. And it feels like Rogue is making pretty short work of this so far. Another Nidus in the back of the natural. Fantasy will clean this up. He's pulling SCVs to be able to do this. And now a Nidus at the front. Rogue is still just making units and getting ready to shut this game down and take Jin Green Wings, the championship, which they've played so hard all weekend for. Jin came in as seed number 5 into the playoffs after their group stage performance was lacking at points. See those Banshees into the main, going to deny Nidus again, but here go Lings and Roaches at the front. Banshees have Hyperflight Rotors. How much anti-air is there from the Zerg? I mean, a good amount of Queens for the moment. Hellbat's trying to hold on. The tank on the high ground is going to unsiege. Corrosive Barrel 3 misses. So Fantasy holds on that little bit longer for the moment, but I mean, again, eventually, where is this game going? When does this aggression probably get shut down? Fantasy's lost 23 SCVs. He loses the 3rd orbital as well. And Pixel 1 are falling apart. Fantasy is not able to hold Rogue off, and Rogue, what an MVP performance this weekend. So many matches played, so many matches won. Rogue for the playoffs has got to be MVP, right? He went 3-1, followed by 7-1, which made him 10-2. Then he went 11-3, and now in this series he's gone 14-4, and he's about to go 16-4. You add that to the 2-0 earlier, 18-4 in the playoffs. Rogue has been an absolute monster this weekend, and it's absolutely shown as Fantasy is struggling. I mean, he's going to be able to pick off the Queens here, which means he will survive with the Banshees, but he's not mining off of the natural. He's not mining off of the natural, as we do see. Scans coming down. Creep team is being cleaned up. now Mutalisks are coming across the map. The one thing Fantasy had was the Banshees. And the one thing the Fantasy Banshees can't kill? The Mutalisks. Rogue is seconds away from making Jin Air Green Wings the China Team Championship Season 2 final Grand Champion, blah blah blah, winners, Grand Champions. I fucked it up! Rogue hasn't though.